So firstly, Mr. Madhur Desai from Electrical Department, and he's a Secretary and Finance Officer at Softa. Next, there is Aniket Hule from Electrical Department. He is Event Designer of Softa, and Ms. Divya Kolvekar from Electrical Department and Chief Service Organizer and Social Relations Officer at Softa. So without a further ado, let's start with today's session. And over to you, Madhur, Aniket, and Divya.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned by Atharvi, me, Mr. Madhur Desai, Aniket Hulle and Divya Kavekar, we have received offer from Deloitte Consulting Firm, and we are here to explain you our placement activity experience. Next slide. Content of our presentation is about company, who they hire, hiring process, aptitude test, technical interview, HR interview, our overall interview and placement activity experience, and preparation strategy. Next slide. Then first point is about the company. The company Deloitte is a consulting firm and among the world's top 4 consulting companies. They have 175 plus years of experience and had their branches in 150 plus countries. This company came for the first time in WC campus. They provide services on audit, consultancy, financial advisory, risk advisory, tax, legal services. Next slide. Who they hire? As Deloitte came in WC campus for the first time, and they offer the role of analyst position for all branches. They allowed all branches, that is CSE, IT, electronics, electrical, mechanical, and civil also. So it's a good opportunity for core branches students like mechanical, civil, electrical, etc. Next slide. Then the main point is hiring process. What's the hiring process? The first round is aptitude test, no doubt. It consists of 3 sections. First is quantitative analysis, second is logical reasoning, and third is verbal activity, verbal ability. And the second round was interview. They took only one interview named as personal interview, which consists of technical interview plus HR interview. Then we will move towards the detailed process. Now next part will be explained by my colleague.
Yeah, thank you, Madhu. Now let's move our discussion towards the aptitude test. Now, frankly speaking, it is one of the easiest aptitude tests compared to the all others companies test. Now you have to know only some basic concepts of the aptitude, and that's enough to crack it. So as usual, whole process takes place virtually. The aptitude test takes place in the online mode on the MCAT platform, which is a nearly take for 1 hour, and it consists of the 3 sections as I mentioned earlier by the Madhur: the verbal ability, logical ability, and the quantitative ability. In the verbal ability, to highlight certain topics, it include topics such as the similarities and the opposite words, and spots the error, reading comprehensions, and so on. And in the logical ability, it includes certain topics on the logical reasoning, binary logics, and the logical reduction, family trees. And both these sections are nearly about 14 minutes. And the last section is of the quantitative ability, which covers the most of the content of the aptitude test, that is the speed, time, distance topic, then the average, mixture and the allocations, profit and loss, permutations and the combinations. There are also topics too, but major topics these are. Now, as the test was too easy, the time allotted for the each question is a less, but it is sufficient to solve them. So try to attain. the maximum questions here, because they have just kept the cutoff at the higher range, but they shortlist all the candidates who have crossed this cutoff. So it's become easy for the each and every candidate to easily get shortlisted. So try to attempt the maximum questions, and there are the no negative marking, so you can go for gazing for the sum of the questions. But it doesn't provide the back tracing, so you can't attempt previously skipped question. So take due care of it. I will suggest practicing the means just going through the certain topics of the aptitude before going for the any aptitude test for the any companies. And for the practice, I have mentioned some books there, that is the Arun Sharma book. You can solve, or you can the practice up to the second level questions, that is the sufficient for cracking any aptitude test, means company's aptitude test. And if you don't have it, you can download it from the Telegram. You have to just type the name Arun Sharma. All its 4 volumes are available there, and they are free of cost. And also, I have mentioned the two YouTube channels, the Unacademic and Genic Education. And these generally channels are for the grade preparation, but you can refer it for the aptitude preparation as well. And also the Dehegure Sirs arranges the employability training session during the summer holidays of the third year, before the start of the campus. So it will covers the most of the aptitude uh, test related topics in a much details. But if you want to start it from now, so you can refer this material that has been listed here. So next slide, please. Okay, the next topic is the interview. The whole interview process is conducted on the Zoom call. Uh, uh, and it consists of the both interviews, the technical and the HR interview, and it lasts for just for the 30 minutes. It is not too much long. The Now let's moving towards the technical interview. The questions that are asked is on the introduction, introduce yourself, which is the most common question. Prepare your introduction very well. Make it attractive. You can refer some Google websites too to prepare your introduction, as it is your the first impression, as and it is the saying that the first impression is the last impression. So prepare your the introduction very well and more present you. And also I want to suggest that don't add any academics details in your introduction, as it is already is there in your resume. So avoid putting those introduction in your introduction. Try to avoid it. It just create the boring session towards the interviewer. So avoid that. The next question is generally asked on the coding language. They will first of all ask you the which is your which coding language you know, and depending upon that coding language, they will ask the certain basic level questions on it. For me, I have chosen the Python language, so they ask me what is the array, what is the use of the array, and also they ask me what is the difference between the list and the array, and what is the difference between the list and the tuples, and some basic level questions. Now, if next they ask me to a code, uh, to write a code on a certain problem statement. They ask me to write a code such that it is able to sort a number from the decimal 1 to a 9, from a 1 to a 9 in an ascending order. So it is a really a basic level coding question. So you can just practice the more problem statements on the coding language in order to crack such coding questions. And one more point to add over here: when they ask you to code or to write a code, then just don't write it simply or silently and present it later on. When they ask to, while coding, just explain them your approach of writing the code and the variables that you are going to use, why these variables are the needed, and then also name the variables in a meaningful name. So don't give any abbreviatory name to a variable. This will give you the plus points during your interviews. Now this next thing, ask the questions on the SQL and the DBMS. So prepare these topics. These are the very must, because these the questions related to the SQL and the DBMS are asked in nearly most of the interviews. For me, they ask the really basic questions, that what is the SQL, what is the use of the SQL, and they ask me which functions you will use to join the two table. So these are the simple questions. I will refer you to refer W3 School website for learning the SQL or the DBMS concept. Then they will ask you about the favorite subject, and topics related to, and the questions related to your favorite subject. But I will also suggest you don't not only prepare one favorite subject, prepare 2 and 3 more favorite subject, because sometimes they may ask for the more favorite subject and they can ask the questions on it. So be prepared with the 2 or the 3 favorite subject, and they will ask all the questions related to the skill that has been that you have mentioned in your resume. So prepare your resume very well, and before going for the interview, just review all the skills that you have. If you mention AI and the machine learning as a skill, so just go through the certain topics in that. So just brush up the concept, so you can tackle the questions whatever they asked on related to that topics. Then the projects, most of the interviews they will ask regarding your projects. So I will suggest you, when they ask you, tell me something about your project, then give the description of the project in 1 or 2 minutes. If they are interested, then they will cross question you. Then you can just tackle, you can just answer those questions. But if they are not interested, then they will just ask them some basic question, that what is your role in the project, how do you, so sorry, which problems do you face during during doing your project, and such some basic questions. So prepare your project thoroughly. And if it is a, even though it is a group project, uh, just go through the details of it, means know each and the every points of the project, because they can ask the any part of it. So be ready with it. Now over to you, Aniket.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Divya and Madhu. Let's now talk about HR interview. Next slide, please. Yeah, okay. So as of now, you have been gone through the technical interview and aptitude sessions details. Let's now talk about HR and managerial level interview as well. So first of all, right now there is a saying that if technical is clear, then HR is just for as a formality. But actually, it's not like that. Many of companies actually take the candidates on the basis of HR interview as well. And HR interview is also one of an important part of the hiring process, total hiring process. So generally in HR interview, they start as well with the tell me something about yourself. Then, as Divya mentioned earlier, be prepared with the introduction. As she mentioned, you may refer internet and some of the Google sites if you can, but just don't copy it as it is, because the introduction they have given, they might that might be for another job role, or that is his introduction. So, and if you use one of many heavy words in your introduction, then they may get to know that you have copied from somewhere, and they will again ask you to introduce yourself. Then you must understand that they have understood you have copied your introduction. So you may refer the sites, but you should I mean, before interviews you should sit and write your own introduction. Yes, I am telling you to write your own introduction, because writing will fade that interview into your mind. And if possible, try to read your introduction 2 to 3 times before interview, so that you should not miss any kind of thing, because in the heat of the moment we may miss some of the points while introducing ourselves. And try to, as earlier they were told, try to tell the things which are not there actually in your resume. Tell them how you are capable of that job role, or you can tell them about your skill set, or how you have gained that skill set, and how you are enthusiastic to that job role. So basically, while introducing, try to uh, make impact as much as possible. So then let's start covering points. Then question on extracurricular activities. Yeah, so in the HR interviews, mostly they focus on what you have done other than your basic studies and college. So extracurricular activities, whatever extracurricular activities, like we have various team events and individual events in our club, like Caliber, Intra, Mini Intra, Impulse. So like that, various clubs in our college organize various events and activities. So if you have participated only, that is also okay if you mention it on your resume. So that would also make an impact, because if you have participated, then you may uh, tell them how or what kind of things you got from that participation in that event, and what kind of skill set you gained. So I think extracurricular activities is one of the must things in your resume. And you may tell them, or if you have any experience of post, that is you are working on any post in a club in a college, then that would be also a good thing if you tell them that you are working as a CPSD or anything while introducing yourself. Then hobbies, actually there is no any much uh, emphasis on hobbies. You can just tell the so and so are my hobbies in the last section of your introduction. And during the last section of introduction, don't forget to mention a few points in which you are comfortable with, and you can explain them more, because usually in the introductions, the last point you tell will be the first question. So try to do that, and try to sum up your introduction in a few lines, like we write summaries and description in our resume, on top of our resume. Then next is academic achievement. Of course, we will be asked with our academic achievement. Usually they don't ask about the pointer or anything like that. They, if you have mentioned something like you have been part of an Olympiad, or you have qualified in NTSC like exams, they usually ask about your experience in that period. How was your academic experience? So try to be prepared with how you are going to tell the academic experience, or the skills or the knowledge you got from doing such extracurricular things in your school period. Or if you have done any course on Coursera like platforms, then that would be also asked why you did that particular course only. Then puzzles, yeah, in multinational companies like Deloitte, Goldman Sachs, etc., the puzzles are one of the important things. They usually ask the puzzles in between, so that you come out of your own cell that you are performing in. So they try to discomfort you using puzzles. Usually the puzzles are quite easy, but it's better that you first think and try to solve it, or at least tell them what you are thinking, what is your logic behind solving that puzzle. That would make it. The expectation is not like that you should solve the puzzle. It's not like that. And the most important thing is short and long term goals. In every interview they will be asking the question on this topic, short and long term goal. Maybe they will ask it in a different way, like in the period of 2, 3, and 5 years, or 5 and 10 years, what in what post would you like to see yourself, or in life, in next 5 to 10 years, what we you think you can do, or what is your ambition. So as I mentioned earlier, you should write the introduction. I would say the same for short term and long term goals. Then the questions like why should we hire you? Then why only this company you would like to join, and why? What are the aspects that you are taking interest in this job role? So these are kind of questions they will ask you if time permits. And then what strategies applies to handle the main project, like the this kind of managerial level questions. Moreover, they will try to put you in some of the situational kind of questions, like if your colleague is not able to perform well, or he is not doing the project, and he's not doing his work deliberately, then how you will handle the situation. So these are kind of the questions they will ask you. Then at last they will ask you, do you have any questions for them? So usually it is expected that you ask 1 or 2 questions regarding, you may ask regarding job role, or you may ask regarding the companies, or you can directly ask them on what kind of projects they are working, and how the culture is. Here I would suggest to everyone that you should not ask about your own interview, because or sometimes the students tend to ask in a hurry or in a state of enthusiasm that what should I improve more to perform well. This should not be done, because it may tell them that you are not much interested in their job profile, and you are trying to improve, or you are just trying to test yourself through their interview. So that is one of the thing. And moreover, asking them what should you improve, it is an invitation to think that what you are lacking in your own interview. So it would make them think that what in what aspects you are less. So I think while questioning them back, you should uh, care very much about the job profile, the job, or the company. Don't ask about yourself or anything regarding your college, etc. You may just ask about what skills to, I mean, to enter into industry, what skill set a student should develop. Not don't ask about only yourself. Try to generalize it if you are going to ask. So I think that are a few questions, or that are the few aspects. Other than that, we will be sharing our experience. At that time, I would try to mention each and everything I have gone through, and some of my friends have told their experience. I would try to add that as well if time permits. I think that's it from my side about the HR interviews. I think now the Madhur will share his overall experience. So over to you, Madhur.
Hello. Now I would like to talk about my personal interview experience. I have given the interview for Deloitte for the first company. Uh, so to begin with, firstly about aptitude test. There was 3 sections as mentioned before, and questions are little bit easy. There was a training session held in our college. It helped a lot for cracking the aptitude test. Now let's move towards the main part, that is the interview. Firstly, you should join the interview in time or before that. It will show your sincerity towards the interview, as well as their company. Then obviously the most of the interviews starts with the expected question, that is introduce yourself or tell us something about you. I had also asked the same question. Then I introduced myself in the way that I planned before. I said my name, my department, that is electrical department. Then I explained some of my skill sets, which are resembling to their company's requirement. That is, I have searched what skill sets are required for the Deloitte company, that are mentioned on their website also. And whichever skill sets I had it before, I mentioned in my introduction itself. Then in introduction, I have told the name of my project that I have done in my academics. The purpose behind it was that I want to provide one exposure to interviewer to start my interview. So I mentioned my strongest point from my resume in my intro itself. Then this plan came out with the success, and interviewer asked me to explain my project itself. Now it's the time for which I was waiting and planned. Now the ball is in my area and my strong zone, and I had to hit it beyond the boundary line. And I started explaining my project. I'm from electrical department. My project was on solar energy topic. The name of my project was maximum power point tracking. I knew that the person taking my interview was not from electrical background. So I had to explain my project to him in such a way that he took interest in my project. Because if he didn't take any kind of interest in my project, it can be possible. That is, I can't attract his attention into my project. Then he may move to the next part, or any part like that. I hadn't prepared it, so I want to spend maximum time of my interview uh, on my project itself, because it was my strong point. I had mentioned, I have started explaining the interviewer my project in such a way that considering he's not from electrical background itself. So I started explaining like, imagine sir, you want to design a solar power generation system for your home itself. Then you will take solar panel, but you can't directly connect it to load and so on. I gonna explaining, and in this way he took interest in my project and keeps on asking me questions related to my projects over a long period of time. My interview was about 30 to 35 minutes, out of that, uh, 15 to 20 minutes we discussed on my project itself. When he moved, then he moved towards the next part of my resume. My complete interview was based on my resume itself. Then he asked about my internship that I have completed in Mahadiscom. I explained it also in very well manner. After that, he greeted me that I came to know that you are very strong in your academics. The purpose behind telling this is that at the time of interview, no one asks you for that what is your pointer and how much study knowledge you have completed till now. The main focus at the time of interview is how you represent yourself, that you know in front of the interviewer. Please don't misunderstand it. I had not said pointer is not important. Pointer is the most important thing to reach up to interview. I will call pointer as a ladder to reach up to the interview. It is also the first impression you create on the interviewer, but from that point you have to represent yourself in a better manner on the basis of whatever you know up till now. Okay, then I had mentioned uh, then I had mentioned in my resume that I was CR of the electrical class, and also I was joint secretary and current secretary and finance officer of Softa Club. On that basis, he asked me the question that what challenges do you face while holding these positions and how you overcame it. As I had a lot of experience in such an extracurricular activity, I had explained it in also very well manner. Further, he asked me HR questions like why you want to join the Deloitte, why Deloitte, why you are uh, interested to work with a company related to IT sector, uh, though you are from core background electrical. Uh, for answering these questions, for example, let's say why his company, you should listen pre-placement talk. That is pre-placement talk of the company. That is when company came to the campus. Firstly, they conduct pre-placement talk. Means they explain about their company, what job role the company is seeking for in the candidate. You should listen it properly. And the things that I like you most about the company, you you can mention it in the such a type of questions by our company itself. Also, you can check company's website. You should check the company's website before going to the interview and collect information about the company itself. And for the question like why interested in IT related company, uh, this such type of question is mainly for core related background students, not for IT CSE background. Uh, the question is like why you are interested in the IT company, though you are from core background. Uh, the answer will be the same, that I had has interest, but no, but I hadn't given directly such answer that I had interest, but I them and I had explained them the whole scenario. I told that first I had not that much interest in the IT sector. That's why I didn't go for IT, such an IT branch. But during my project and such activities, I will introduce toward the coding such a type of part, and my interest goes on developing. So the such a type of answer can be agreed little bit faster. Now, one most awaited question was on C language. Explain me one algorithm in C language. They asked me to explain one algorithm in C language. I can explain any algorithm in the C language, but if I did this, then he can dominate me. He could dominate me, and he could move the whole interview in various IT concepts. And if I will do some simple small mistake, if I had done some simple mistake, then he can move whole interview in some IT related concept. And as I am from core background, I can't able to answer all of them. So he may dominate me, but it's like the ball was going out of my strong zone, but I dragged the ball again within my region and hit it beyond the boundary line again. I asked him that can I explain the same algorithm that I used in my project. So then he said he agreed, and he asked me to explain the same algorithm. So I explained it very well in very well manner. Uh, then he asked me the last question was if required to learn any other language uh, other than C language, if it's required to learn after joining the company, you may require to learn any other language, then how much time will you require to learn that? Now it's time to answer smartly, because if I had said certain period of time, then also he may dominate me on asking some certain questions. But I have said, sir, my basic fundamentals about the C language are perfect, and I will achieve expertise in C language within a couple of weeks. And as we know that if you know any one of the programming language in detail, then we will not take much time to learn any other language. Then he also smiled and said good one, and asked me, uh, do you have any question for me? That is, we moved toward the conclusion of the interview. Then I had asked, now you are working from home or in the office, because I would like to work in office. Such a type of question. Then he answered my question. The point to note here is that always ask the question related to work. Like current projects, etc. Beforely explained by Aniket. Don't ask us silly questions like what are increments in the salary and all such a type of questions. Always ask the question related to your work. It will create a good impression. Okay, that's my all our experience. Now I will further hand over the session to Divya. Thank you.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the aptitude test was very easy, so we didn't face any difficulties to crack it. So, and we just get qualified to the next round, that is the interviewer round. The interviewer round, it just goes fluent for me. And as mentioned, the first question was to introduce yourself. In that, I have mentioned my personalities, my attitude towards the work, then some of my skills. That's cover my the introduction. Then my whole interviews is based upon on the technical interview only. They ask us means really little questions on the HRs, but the most of them are the technicals, means based on the programming language. So it is just like a QA session for me. They are answering the question, and I am they are asking me the question, and I am answering them. So but the interviewers are the so friendly, they make us comfortable throughout the interview. But I want to add here, if the interviewers are the friendly, that doesn't mean that you lose your professionalism. Maintain your professionalism and answer the questions asked by them in a professional manners only. Some students just fix the format, that if this is the question, then that will be my answer. But when the interviewer starts speaking fluently, or when they start speaking friendly, then these students just forgets the format and try to reply the answer in unprofessional manner. So you have to take due care of this. And also in the some case, it may happen that you answers the questions in a such a manner that contradicts the answer that you have previously answered. So this create a negative impressions of you towards the interview. So I have to take the due care of it. Just listens the question very carefully, think over the questions, means take some time if you require, and then reply the answers wisely. And the as mentioned by the Madhur, the same was my interview process, but it was a little bit more technical. They asked me the more technical questions, and they also asked me the one puzzle question too. Means that was a very easy. They asked me that there are the six sticks arranged in a home pattern. So four sticks are arranged in the squares, and the two were arranged in a triangle. So it represents like a home, and we have to just move only the two stick and form the five squares. So that is a really easy question. I have answered it very quickly. Then they question me on the projects. So I explain me one of the project that I have undertaken in the Yantra. So they didn't go much details of the project, but once they generally ask me what is your role in that. So means what is your role, and which difficulties do you generally face, and some algorithm that have used in that project. Then they also ask me, because I have answered that the Python is my coding language. So they ask me the questions on the Python too, and they also explain means they ask me to explain any one of the challenging code that have prepared in the Python. So I explained her the code one from the HackerRank. So I just practice my the coding skills on the HackerRank. So I just pick up one of the code that I felt which is difficult, and I explained her. So my interview generally lasts long only for the 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. And then at the last, she asked me the question, what is is there any questions for me? And last we have the ended the sessions. Okay, this is my the overall experience of the interview. Okay, and I will hand over the further presentation towards the Aniket.
Yeah, thank you, Divya and Madhur. So, as Divya and Madhur have already told their experience about Deloitte, I'm having actually experience about four of the companies. First of all, I was shortlisted with Nice Systems. Then I was able to participate in the hiring process of Deloitte. Next, right now, there is a nationwide campus drive for Goldman Sachs. I have actually cleared two rounds of Goldman Sachs, and I'm waiting for the mails of third round. And recently, a few days back, I have been shortlisted through the company S&P Global. So I will be sharing my overall campus drive experience from the first to last company. So let's begin with Nice Systems. So first of all, in Nice Systems aptitude, uh, there were almost 5 to 6 sections. Uh, Few of them, as we have covered earlier, were the general aptitude questions based on quantitative aptitude, verbal ability, logical ability, etc. They were quite on easy level, and more other than that, there were extra sections on the technical aptitude questions, that are the aptitude questions based on the C language or any kind of programming language, as well as OOPS and DBMS, etc. things. Moreover, in a few companies which are based on cloud computing, etc., they will be asking you the questions on cloud computing, Kubernetes, etc., and the other softwares and soft skills that are required for their company. So that was overall aptitude experience. And moreover, along with the aptitude test, there was a coding test in which there were two coding questions. One of them was a bit of medium level question, which I was not able to solve because I think there was a time limit of only 15 minutes. And being from a core background, we were not much prepared with the programming kind of questions, and we had not developed that much logic which we was able to solve the coding question. The next coding question was regarding the finding the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. So we I was able to crack that code, display the logic about the code, and write the code efficiently. So as I was able to write one code, and as I was working as PhD in last year in Softa, so I have developed aptitude skills very much. So I was able to crack the first round of Nice Systems efficiently. Then next day, I think there was technical interview in morning 10 a.m. uh, First of all, the technical interviewer make you feel comfortable. They try to first introduce themselves and the kind of work they are doing. Then they will ask you to introduce yourself. Then first I introduced myself. Then he asked the first question regarding my project. As I told you earlier, at last I mentioned about my projects. Before that, I explained him about my skill sets and the hobbies, and some of the few other things that were on my resume. Then, as I mentioned lastly about the projects, he asked me what kind of projects I have done. Although I told him earlier all my projects, I think he wanted to hear in detail about all the projects. So he asked me what kind of projects I have done. Actually, I have done 3 to 4 projects in software domain and one mini project in our core domain. So I told the names and the overall purpose of each project in 1 to 2 minutes. And then he asked, tell me in or explain the best project you have done, or you think you have the best knowledge of a project. Then, as he while introducing, he explained about his work that he is working on credit card technology in nice systems. So I chose to speak about the project I done on credit card fraud detection using random forest algorithm and neural networks. So to make an impact, I explained each and everything in detail about the project. I think that discussion uh, long about 5 to 10 minutes. After that, he started to ask me technical questions about the programming languages. As I earlier mentioned by Divya, they first try to ask you which in which language you are comfortable with. So I told him that I'm comfortable with C and Python. Then he asked me to tell some features of Python and why Python is good. Then, as I explained about the advantages of Python, it is portable, it is easy to use. Before that, he just only asked about the features. But as I prepared with who invented Python, how it came into business, so I started my answer with that. So it helped me to show him that I'm very good at presentation skills and I know how to answer a question. So in that kind of aspect, I started with who invented Python, how it came into business, and after 2015 how it has grown so much in these recent years, and why Python is used. Then along with advantages, he again asked me about what are the applications, as you have told so much advantages. Then I told him about the advantages of Python, why only Python is kind of used in web development or short scale web development, why the similar languages like R, which are used mostly in data visualization, are not used. So after the explanation of Python language itself, he then moved forward with data structures. So data structures and algorithms is one of the most important things in technical interviews. So he first asked me about what are the data structures. Then I told him about what exactly we mean by data structure and why they are used. Then I told them the types of data structures. Then after I told him the types of data structures, he asked me about the how we are going to concatenate tuples. And after explaining how we can concatenate or how we can add tuples, he asked me the properties or features of tuples. Then I told him the tuples are immutable while compared to other similar data structures like dictionary, set, etc. So as I mentioned about only dictionary set, he then asked me about a few features of or how we distinguish between dictionary set, etc. Then after that, I think then he moved towards the DBMS sector. He first asked me about, do you know something about database management, etc. Then as I was prepared with the DBMS and OOPS as well, although I mean I'm not very good at it. Before the technical interview at 10, I starting preparing the DBMS at 8 a.m. From GFG. uh, I think GFG's Jigs for Jigs is one of best platform for immediate preparation, because they are having interview questions directly. So using that, I prepared about what exactly is DBMS and etc. Then he asked me about the features of DBMS like normalization, encapsulation, inheritance, etc. I explained him the terms. Actually, I explained the terms by guessing from their names only. Actually, I was not much aware about the details. Only I was prepared with the normalization, as it was having the types 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, etc. So he told me to explain the normalization in detail and why we normalize the table or database. Then after I explained him the normalization and all the types of normalization in detail, he asked me to he asked me that if he gives me a table, then will I be able to normalize it? Then I told that yes, I may be able to normalize it, but I will take much time because I'm not much perfect, or I have not uh, on software working knowledge. So then he said, yeah, it's absolutely okay. Being from core, you have that much knowledge is a good thing. So this was one of the things that impressed him. Then again he moved forward with Python, and he again asked about the features of Python, etc. Then after again explaining a few features and other things about Python language itself, he moved forward with giving me a query where he stated that I should show me the if I give you a table, will you be able to show me the top 1000 entries of that table? Sorry, top not top bottom top 1000 bottom 1000 entries of that table. As some of you may know, in SQL there is only the keyword top, where we can use the keyword for top 1000 entries. And if you want to show or present the bottom 1000 entries, you may be required to use the keyword order by in descending order. That will work. So that was the logic. I explained him the logic only. Then I asked, is it needed to, I mean, write the whole query regarding the table? Then he said, no, it's okay, you have got the logic. So if you are not comfortable with any kind of language, or at that time I only prepared with the interview questions that were on GFG, available on GFG. So at that time I was not much aware about what exactly SQL is, and what we are going to what is exactly done in SQL to write a query. But although I didn't know what SQL is, I was able to answer the question. So actually what they look is what how much you are comfortable with the technical section. So I think that was my technical interview experience in Nice Systems. After the writing the query or the logic of query, then he concluded with asking me that if I have any questions for him. Then as we were we have been working on same kind of thing, credit card fraud detection or credit card. I asked him, can you please tell me in detail what kind of work it is done in Nice System or in my job profile. Then he told me about what is his overall experience in Nice System throughout almost 2 to 3 years. He was working there from 2 to 3 years. So that was my first technical interview experience in Nice System. Then at almost 12 p.m. I got the mails of HR interview, which was to be conducted at 2 p.m. The HR interview was not for long time. It was, I think, for only 20 to 30 minutes, and it was actually conducted by two people at managerial level. They conducted the HR interview. They, as I mentioned earlier, they first made me comfortable with the environment. Then asked me general questions about my family and introduction of myself, whether you are any sibling or any cousin or anyone of your family member is working in Pune or not. Would you like to work in Pune or Bangalore, etc. That kind of questions. They started with that. Then they asked me about what kind of projects you have done. Then I told them about the projects. Then actually he counter questioned me with why you want to add the I mean and ML in credit card fraud detection, or why you are generalizing it. So that was the part. Then in the HR interview only, they asked me to explain the project, or any one of the best project I have done. Yeah, similar as the technical interview asked. Here also I explained them the credit card fraud detection project. Then while explaining, I used some of the terms like random forest algorithm, neural networks, etc. So then they asked me to explain in detail the random forest algorithm, why it is used, and how it is working in your project. So after explaining all the things related to random forest, neural network, and how exactly our code of the project is working, then they moved with the HR level questions and asked me the questions based on my resume and the skill sets I have given in my resume. Like you have mentioned about your previous achievements, like I was able to crack NTSC, NMS, and various state level exams and some of the general knowledge exams, etc. So they asked me, will you consider yourself successful or not? As you have mentioned various achievements in your resume, then I think here you need to mention that yes, uh, I think I am a bit successful only. You should not say that I think I am successful and I have achieved great things. Although you may have achieved a lot of things in your past or right now also, you should always say that there is scope for more, or this is just a start of that. I want to achieve more, like that. So you should show them that you are interested in achieving more. You shouldn't put full stop on your success. So I think that was one of the my answers. Then they asked me about if my colleague is not working, then how will I handle situation. So see, a few or 2 to 3 situation based questions. Then they asked me about which kind of job role I am interested in. This was the part where I made mistake. Actually the job role for software developer was there, but during PPT I saw that there was a section of automation in NICE system. And as I was doing my minor degree in AI and ML, I totally concentrated on that only, and they were asking me about software developer role. But in the heat of moment, or what we can say in the enthusiasm, I only focused on AI and ML. And moreover, I have done an internship in sugar factory. They asked me about that as well, and there also. In a type of solution, I explained too much about AI and ML and how AI and ML should be used. So I think if during the HR interview, although they make you comfortable and they try to pace up your interview, although if you are talking slowly and you are calm and composed, they try to shake your balance and make you uncomfortable. So I think I made myself uncomfortable, and I went deep in A and ML kind of thing, and kind of dominated the both of them by the A and ML technology, and we should why we should use, and the job role of A and ML that is there in their company. So that made a bad impact on them. It kind of showed that I'm not interested in the job profile they are giving, and I'm asking for another job profile from them. So I think that was the mistake. Then because of that, although I cleared both the technical interview, HR interview, and aptitude test, the my name was not there in the final list of NICE system. So that was one of the experience. Then next, after 2 to 3 days, I participated in the apti of Deloitte Consulting Limited. Actually Deloitte Consulting is we have placed these USI, United States Offices of India. Then as explained by Divya and Madhu, the aptitude was quite easy level. Then my Deloitte experience, interview experience, I can't tell much because my interview was of only 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. Actually, my interview was first scheduled at 3 p.m., but then they preponed it at 2 p.m. I was online, so I was able to answer them. I mean, the placement coordinator, that yes, I'm okay with the time slot of 2 p.m. And my interview was actually taken by the one of the senior manager or senior HR person. So because of that, he was taking the interviews in his lunch time. So our panel's interview was quite a bit quick, and I had only 10 to 12 minutes to impress them. So first of all, they in the Deloitte, I joined at 2 p.m., but the manager joined at 2:15. So you should have patience and you should not panic about the joining of interviewer. So I remained patient, and at 2:15 we started with our interview. So he just first told his name and then asked me to introduce myself. In the Deloitte, he asked me to introduce myself quickly. So I just told a few things about myself, skill sets, education, and projects. Then he also said me to explain the project, my credit card fraud detection. He pointed out that project and told me to explain it in detail. So, like I was not aware that he is going to take the interviews quickly, so I tried to explain it very in vigorous manner. So I tried to explain it in very detail. So after I finished with a few of the points, he said that okay, I think you have done a lot of work in this project and you have great knowledge. I think that is much and it is satisfactory, and we should move forward with other questions. So then he asked me about my resume and the skill set I have mentioned in resume. Then I think you should know what are the things you have mentioned in your resume, so you shouldn't contradict or shouldn't miss out any things that you have mentioned in resume. Then I told the skills I have mentioned in resume, and along with that I told him I have also developing these kind of skills. So other than that, the skills I have mentioned in resume and the skills that are there in the Deloitte job description. Usually some of the companies provide job description in our WhatsApp group. So using that, you can get to know what are the skills required for the company, so you can prepare according to that. So although few of the things I was not able to I mean, they were not my skills, I told him that I am developing these skills. The skills I told him was included in his job description. So I would say that be truthful in your interviews, and if you are going to bluff carefully. So you shouldn't get caught in the interviews, because it would result in disqualification. So that is the thing. Then he asked me about situational question, like you have mentioned here problem solving skills and critical thinking ability. Tell me a situation in your college life where you used these skills. So here Softa played an important role in my the selection in Deloitte, because I told the experience of, I think few of you guys may know that I was there in the anchoring uh, at my second year and the first year of third year guides. So I told him the experience of how we managed the overall event of the director's address. So he was very much satisfied with the way we organized and the various problems we faced and the solutions we got. So I think that was it about my interview. Then he just logged off. So I only got 10 to 12 minutes for the direct interview. Actually, after the interview, I panicked like that. I think I have said a few of the things wrong, and he's not impressed, or he is not going to take me. But actually, it happened in the other way. He was impressed in that 10 to 12 minutes. So I think I would suggest everyone that try to prepare very well, and try to prepare each and everything really good. Don't try to focus on a few things, like only focus on technical things, and only try to impress or try to encourage them emphasis on only short term goal, right, long term goal, etc. Try to impress them, or try to give your focus on each and every question or each and every word you say during the interview. So I think that is the key to success in the interviews and the campus drive. Then next, talking about the Goldman Sachs. Actually, Goldman Sachs, the message or the link was given by the college itself, but it was kind of off-campus drive. It is, as it is a nationwide drive. It takes place in various months, because I think in September the first round of aptitude was there. Then in second, the second round or the technical round was in November. It was almost a process of 1 month. They shortlisted candidates. Then after that, the technical interviews are yet to be taken. I am shortlisted in two of the rounds. Still the technical interviews are not there. The Talking about Goldman Sachs, the first round was aptitude round, and there were almost four sections. The four section that we get in CAT, and the question paper was also of the level of CAT. The time limit was very less, and the questions was of the tough level, because I think I was able to solve only 46 to 50 questions out of 66 questions. And here in Goldman Sachs there is negative marking, +5 and -2. So you need to be very careful and very accurate with your calculations and the other things. And most of the students in our general campus drives try to use Google Lens kind of thing, try to do cheating. But let me tell you one thing, that if you are going to do such things, you should be very smart, because multinational companies or the mega companies or mass recruiters like TCS, etc., they provide the students who are cheating, the list of students who are cheating, to our TPO. So be careful if you are doing such kind of malpractices. Then in any kind of aptitude sections, I was uh, kind of accurate, and I got shortlisted for the technical round. Then in technical round also there were 8 MCQs of aptitude, which were of hardest level. Only I was able to solve only 4 to 5 out of 8 questions. Then the next was technical aptitude, 7 questions, and the two were the coding questions, out of which only I was able to write code for one, which was also not perfect. I mean that only one or two test cases of 13 to 14 were I was able to solve. So talking about the technical test of Goldman Sachs, it was kind of tough for me, because it might be the thing that I am not much good in coding still. So that was the experience about Goldman Sachs. And talking about the recent experience of S&P Global, actually the aptitude test for S&P Global was quite a bit like Deloitte. It was quite a bit easy, and I was able to crack it using the overall experience of my recent years. And I can say, talking about the aptitude, you can practice the RS Agarwal group book if you are finding that the solving Arun Sharma problems is not easy for you. Then you may practice using RS Agarwal book. Actually, I used Arun Sharma itself, and I was able to do the things. Then after S&P Global, a few days back, I think on Friday, I was shortlisted for technical interview. But here in S&P Global, uh, actually my technical interview was kind of HR interview, because here also they started with introducing themselves, and then they asked me to introduce myself. But here they put a condition that I should only tell the things that are not in my resume. So I was somehow able to do that. So actually here I was not prepared with that. So I would be sharing that, as I mentioned earlier, write your introduction. You should also write in, or the points, you should also write the points which you are going to tell if such kind of question that I told you, if they ask you to tell the things that are not in your resume, so be prepared with that as well. So I somehow managed to say a few things that were not on my resume. And as right now we are working on a mega project, I told about that. So then they asked me in detail about the mega project itself for almost 20 to 30 minutes. Actually, the mega project is in electric vehicle domain. And the S&P Global is kind of fintech company. They, I think few of you may be knowing, if you are knowing about stocks, etc., the S&P index. So it is that company, S&P Global Market Intelligence. So they asked me about the project in detail and all the frameworks and how exactly the project work, the block diagram explanation, etc. Then after that, they asked me about the data structure, which kind of data structures I know. Actually, I know all the data structures, but as because of the mega project, they asked in very much detail. I was quite a bit hesitant about telling them that I know linked list, tree, graph, etc. So I just tell them about the basic data structures, the dictionary, set, array, etc. So then they again asked me about what is the difference between dictionary and tuple, and try to asked me to try to explain each and everything in detail. Then I explained them everything about dictionary, tuple, what are the differences between dictionary and tuple. Then they asked me about the advantages of using tuple. Then I told them about the tuples are immutable, and in it is best to use tuples if you are having security problems, or few of more your colleagues are working on the same project. So that was it regarding the technical. In the whole process of about 1 hour, they only asked one question in technical domain, that was difference between tuple and dictionary. Then again they started with the kind of HR round and asked me the questions on my resume and the skills, and then asked me about where I'm going to see myself in 5, 10 years, except 3, 5, and 10 years, and what kind of job role I am interested in, and why I chose AI and ML as a career, or why I want to join the software domain projects, or software domain job role, etc. So I think that was my overall experience about S&P Global. Actually, it was just a first round of interview, uh, but it was not much technical. Only a few technical questions were asked regarding only data structures. The other than that was the overall experience was about HR and managerial level kind of interview. Then at last they told me to ask questions. Then I asked them about what kind of skill sets are generally required in fintech companies like S&P Global. Then they explained me about the overall process they follow in their company, and they told me about general discussion were there about what kind of skill set we should focus, and don't just focus on only few technologies. Try to learn the things that are recent in development. Don't try to just learn the things that are already developed. Try to be in touch with recent technologies, etc. So I think that was my overall campus drive experience of all the four companies. I think I have already mentioned about the preparation strategies, but let's just move quickly with the preparation strategies. Next slide, please. So yeah, basic technical skills, confidence, and strong communication skills are the keys to get selection in Deloitte. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Here, basic technical skills like coding. You should at least know basics of coding, and basics of at least a single language like C, Python, etc. That are a bit of easy. Then prepare your resume well. Yeah, absolutely, because almost all the shortlisting is done on resume. They ask the questions on resume only, and moreover they try to pick the candidates whose resume is really good. then don't hesitate to answer and don't fumble. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you don't answer, then it will show that you have not much confidence. So that is one of the most important thing. Although, for example, I was asked with random forest classification. Suppose you don't know random forest classification, then at least try to tell them about what are the things you know, like you know about regression, what you know about regression classification, or the other algorithms like k-means clustering, etc. So try to answer, at least answer what you know. That will show them that at least you have, although you have don't have knowledge about the thing they have asked, but the related things you are known with, it will tell them that. So it's a good thing to know. Then revise all the basic concepts of theory. You should know at least the definition of all concepts. Yeah, absolutely. Then be confident and calm. Learn any one coding language. Yeah, you can learn any one coding language like Python, C, etc. It's better to learn CPP, C Sharp, Python like languages. They are recently quite useful in market. Next slide, please. Be deadline oriented and quality focused. Yeah, actually these are the things they won't be able to ask, but you can show that you are deadline oriented and quality focused through your resume. You can show your achievements in team events or presentation events, etc. It will tell them about your uh, quality focusedness and deadline orientation, and how you manage time and your efficiency in overall work. Then strong verbal and written communication skills, effective interpersonal communication and presentation skills. You might not be able to speak fluently in English, or you might make some grammatical mistakes during speaking. It is all acceptable, but you shouldn't be fumble, or you shouldn't afraid of speaking. Try to speak as much as required, because it will show that at least you are interested in the job profile, or at least you are interested in discussing with them. So it is one of the most important thing to be talkative throughout the session. Then demonstrate professionalism. Yeah, absolutely. While giving the interviews, you should be in the white formals. Then you should be taking care of the light, sound, etc. Then good presentation skills. Then good general understanding of information technology. I would like to add one point, that you should also have good general understanding of that company as well. What kind of things that company is doing. So if you are asked with what do you think about finance, or what do you think about the company's overall business plan, etc. So next is good working knowledge of Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. I think most of us are very good at it, and good analytical skills. So these are a few of the skill sets you were required to be placed in Deloitte or any kind of similar fintech or consultancy services. So I think that was it from our side. Let's now move forward with Q&A session.